And then there's my father. My father is cheap and poor. That's a bad combination as a kid. My father was so cheap one year for my birthday, he only gave me one walkie-talkie. One. I had to share that with my brother. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Where you at? And I felt sorry for my brother because he never had anything he could call his own. Even his childhood pictures were old pictures of me. My father would say things like, Danny, this is you in 8th grade. I'm not in 8th grade yet. Well, this is what you're going to look like. And take a good look, because these are the clothes you'll be wearing.
I am broke. Any broke people here tonight? You guys there? One way I like to combat being broke is I like to eat at continental breakfasts at hotels I'm not staying at. Yeah, you can just do that if you want. Do you guys want free breakfast tomorrow? Anybody? Yeah, I'll tell you how to do it, okay? It's the easiest thing in the world. Here's what you do. Get up before 9 o'clock. That's the hardest part, right there. Get up before 9. Go over to like a Hampton Inn, make a waffle. Yeah, that's it. Get the heck out of there. That's the whole caper. They can't stop you. It's no Ocean's 11. Let me tell you something. No front desk employee making $9 an hour has the balls to accuse you of that ridiculous crime. They're never going to say anything. I've literally done it like a dozen times in my life. Now, I'm cocky. I'm the John Dillinger of breakfast stealing. They got to be at every hotel. I only got to be at one. Say something to me. I dare you to say something to me because I have the best defense in the world. If you ever accuse me of that, I'm just going to act incredulous. You just get upset. It's like, what's that? Okay. No, let me get this straight. You're under the impression that I got up this morning, got in my car, drove all the way to your stupid little hotel. Oh, I'm sorry. Picked up my fiance, drove all the way to your stupid little hotel, started eating all the eggs and the bacon and the sausage. Oh, and this peanut butter and jelly sandwich I have saran wrap back here. What's that, my lunch? I'm gonna get 2 free meals out of this. They would fall over themselves apologizing. Yet that's literally what I do, step for step. Every Valentine's Day. That's how I knock it out. Call it brunch. The Slater household. Despite that fact, she married me. I'm married. I've been married now for a year. We recently celebrated, thank you. So if anybody needs any advice, no, we like it. I like being married a lot. So far, so good. I will say, what I like most about it is having a family. You know, I have a family now. And we don't have any kids, so it feels like a cheat code to family because we're just 2 adults living together. It's not that hard, you know? But I like to use that word to make myself sound more important. So that's how I talk now. I say things like, I provide for this family. Hey, I'm going to Provo to provide for this family, which sounds better than, hey, I made my half of the rent this October, so what's up? Can I watch my shows? I want to watch my shows. But she's broke like me, okay? She didn't have any money either. We're just 2 broke people in broke matrimony. That's all it is. But I will say, I'm better at being broke than she is, just to be honest with you, okay? And that's not a gender thing. It's just our personalities. And I'm not even talking about stealing continental breakfast. That's masterclass broke guy stuff. I'm talking about the basics, all right? Like when you guys, cheap people, when you go to the movies, what do you do to save money? Okay, someone said rob the place. That's too far. Take it back a step. Just easy now. Bring in your own snacks? Yes, that's right. Sneak in your own. So I suggest this to my wife, right? I'm like, and she's on board. She's enthusiastic about the plan, but her execution is off. Because we're walking through the mall, right, to go to the show. She stops at C's Candy. No, actually, not how it works. You don't sneak candy into the theater that's more expensive than what they sell in the lobby, okay? Yeah, that's doing it wrong. It's like, oh, I know. We'll save some money. We'll pack a lunch. Let me just swing by the airport really quick and grab a sandwich. Have a little picnic in the Delta terminal. I got a tuna sandwich for $13.99. Not the deal. looking for?
He's in good shape. My dad works a little bit still. My dad's a veterinarian. Thank you. That's an animal doctor, sir. You glazed over on me there. He's like, oh, he was in the Army? It sounds neat, but he was so cheap, he thought being a veterinarian qualified him to be our family physician. What a nightmare that was. One time I was a little, cut my foot on some glass. He refused to take me to the people doctor. He rigged it up himself with dog stitches. Then I had to walk to school with one of them biggie cones around my head. It started to rain. I panicked because the cone, would collect the water, sir, like a funnel. Let's catch up.
But my dad and I, we grew up very poor, really poor. You know, we had to eat cereal with a fork to save on milk. And, everybody get it that's gonna get it? Okay. No child left behind. Okay, so. But my dad and I were reminiscing because I told him about the buck I got, and my dad and I were, because we grew up very poor, so we had to hunt, and we would go duck hunting. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody in this theater tonight, but that is a beautiful father-son moment. Duck hunting in the morning, the sun would be coming up, my dad and I'd be hiding under the slide by the swing set, and I'd be tearing off the bread, the ducks would come waddling out. Quack, quack. You know, right? You know I'm kidding. Okay. They didn't waddle like that. Anyway, I shared all this with the Texas National Vegan Society. They got so angry. I wasn't even thinking it through. They got mad. They threw organic tomatoes at me, and yeah. But they were vegan, so they weren't strong enough to hit the stage. So I need to set up my dad a little better. I wasn't planning on telling the story, but my dad would always look for weird ways just to mess with me. This is one of my favorite ones. He told me we were too poor to afford a dog, so if a burglar broke in, I needed to bark at him. And I love it. That was one of my favorite pranks he pulled on me because it backfired on him because it happened my freshman year in high school. My dad was the superintendent of schools, and this kid who graduated didn't like my dad. So he broke into the middle of the night. He was going to steal our TV, but I didn't know it was the kid, so I'm scared to death, right? I was a freshman. I'm laying in bed going, what am I going to do? I'm only 17. And so judgmental up here. Anyway, I pulled the covers off and I crept down the hallway and I heard this guy, but I didn't know it was a kid, and I peeked in and saw it was the kid. And then all of a sudden I remembered what my dad said. And I don't know why I did this, but I just ran into the living room and I just went, It worked. You gotta do it. It was awesome. He just froze. Then he let me smell his hand.
My dad, he was one of the cheapest guys I know. Anyone here have a cheap parent? Yeah, right. All right, to be fair, my dad was kind of cheap. He was the kind of cheap that when I used to say, hey, Dad, can we stop for ice cream after Little League Baseball, would say, we don't need to stop for ice cream. We have ice cream at home. Yeah, people, we did not have ice cream at home. What we had was an old refrigerator that froze the milk on the top shelf. Yeah, if you throw in some Nestle Quick Boy and chip at it with the hammer, you'll have ice cream. Yeah. My dad, he's in his 70s though. In his 70s, he went out and bought a $68,000 Lincoln. Yeah, he paid cash for it. So now I know why we couldn't stop for ice cream all those years. Thank you.
That's why I don't get you kids, man. Y'all grew up different. We grew up poor. Poor. You know what I used to do for fun? I used to put pennies on a train track. The train would come, choo-choo. It rolls over the penny. Bigger penny. And I was like, this is the happiest I've ever been. That's what I used to do for fun. Y'all could be in the house. I couldn't be in the house. They used to kick us out. Every weekend, if we wasn't at school, at 4 o'clock in the morning, they would kick us out of the house and tell us, don't come back until lunch, right? And then when you come back at lunch, they didn't open the door, they just fed us through a mail slot, right? Like a reverse prisoner, right? Like I can't even get in with my parents, I used to have to sneak back into my house. When my parents left during the summertime to go to work, I used to leave my window in, sneak into the place they brought me, all right? I'm 11, all right? I used to be feeling safe. We were so poor. This is how you know if you were poor. And I know this is gonna hurt you, because I know I don't know if you knew that this is gonna hurt. If you had an imaginary friend, you was poor growing up. That means your parents couldn't afford toys, so they let you just make up somebody. Hey, mama, can Fun-Tooth come to breakfast? She's like, yes. Your parents had you do a make-believe, all right? They would kick us out the house. We had to go make up games to play for 9 hours to come back. We and my 4 brothers played baseball every day for 2 weeks. Just my 4 brothers. Do you know how many people on our Major League Baseball team? Just to play, not even the umpires, it's more than 4. So I know, you probably know how we played. We played the poorest way of baseball. We had a stick and a tennis ball, and then just random stuff as bases. And one brother would pitch, one would be in the outfield, and one would be the catcher and umpire, and one was batting. So they would throw the ball to me, I would hit the ball, I would run to the first base, and I would stop, and I would say, Ghost Man on first. And then I go bat again. Now I believe in ghosts. You know, we won a lot of championships back in '96. What I don't like, who the poor people at? You poor. I can smell it. It's okay. It's okay. Don't cry. It's okay. Listen. What we have to do is you got to realize that it's okay to be poor. I'm very good at being poor. I've done it the whole time. Nothing's wrong. Okay? Other people want to make you feel bad and make you feel worse and make you feel depressed. You got to watch how people are talking to you. As a matter of fact, the other day, Sprint texted me and they said, sir, it looks like you neglected to make a payment on the 18th. Neglected? Implying that I'm neglectful? Because I know what neglect means. Neglect means I had it and I chose not to take care of it. What you meant to text me, it looked like I was poor on the 18th. Because that's all that happened. I didn't have the money for the phone. I am not neglectful. I'm just poor. That is it. I am just poor. You know what else they did? They texted me another day after that. It said, sir, did you forget to forget? So now I'm forgetful and neglectful. Not poor. They didn't say anything about being poor, right? Because if they forget, first of all, I have a great memory. My memory is amazing. I don't care what they tell you. My memory is so good. I remember what I was, where I said I wasn't going to pay the bill on time. All right? It was a Tuesday the 13th, 8:15 in the morning. I'm cooking eggs. All right, 8:15, 58 seconds and 43 milliseconds. I had just cracked my second egg right next to my third strip of bacon. I got a text message from Sprint saying, you have an auto draft coming out on the 18th. And I said, I don't know what they're going to take out, but I know it won't be the phone bill. So don't you ever come from my memory. It was 38% humidity that day. I know everything that happened.
I overdid it with my girls. Because I grew up poor. You overdo it with your kids, right? If you grew up poor, overdo it. And I grew up legit poor, okay? I was born poor. I went from C-section to Section 8. So I know what I'm telling you, right? And my daughter, I overdid it with my girls, man. And my dad was cheap, too. You can't be poor and cheap, right? You can't. And he wouldn't even celebrate my birthday. I was born July 4th, right by the Statue of Liberty. My mom went to go see the fireworks, boom, boom, boom. Like, what are the odds? What are the odds of a Puerto Rican guy born in New York? 2-1. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm at, and then so, like he didn't even give me firecrackers. He gave me like a road flare, an 8-hour firecracker. Okay, so my dad, let me start. So he came to my house, and he opened up this armor. I had because when my daughters were little, I used to buy them all the movies, man. There was literally hundreds of DVDs in there. And he starts with me, oh yeah, you're spending too much money, like I say. I go, yo, man, and I didn't mean to put a guilt trip. I did not. I said, you know what? I love movies. I go, you never took us to the movies when we were kids, because you know why? Because you're cheap. Yes, I said it. I didn't mean to put a guilt trip. My birthday rolls around, he never gets me anything. Grown man, I open it up, 3 DVDs. I know, like a tear came out of my eye, man. And he looks at me and goes, oye, they're due back on Tuesday, so you gotta buy it. It's Monday night! And he's yelling, la caja roja, the red box. Anyway, so. He embarrassed me at my wedding. And a lot of cultures do something called the money dance. They pin money on the bride, right? Everybody danced with my wife, money all over her. And he didn't want to participate. I go, I'm the groom. Maharato, later on. Go, no, go, okay, go. He goes over there, dances, nothing. Money all over my wife. And I'm piercing, I'm looking at him, the eyes are on him, right? And he goes, okay, yeah, espérate. So he takes out his wallet, and I'm on him. He takes out a $100 bill, pins it on. Starts spinning my wife, taking 5s and 10s, making change off the dress.
Listen, my husband's a great guy. You know what he is? He's moral. That's what he is, which I know is big around here, okay? He is moral. He is. He really is. No joke. He is. And he's very, how can I say this? He's very cheap. He's very cheap. He's super cheap. He likes to say conservative, thrifty, economical. No, he's cheap. He's tight. And I don't know if anybody's married to a cheap person or they like to speak about it in a public forum, but let me tell you what it's like. We have budget meetings in our living room. I have to submit receipts, documentation, if you will. It's very exhausting, is basically what I'm trying to say. He will not let me go food shopping. He goes, you don't know how to buy. You don't know how to shop. You just buy brands. Like, okay, well, I like to know where things come from. So he does all the food shopping, which is totally fine by me. So the thing is that everything in our house, I don't know where it comes from. Like in the kitchen, right? Everything. Paper towels, just a white background with the name on it. Just generic, Tuna fish, that's it. That's all the label says, tuna fish. He had a Band-Aid on the other day. He goes, look, this Band-Aid keeps coming off. I said, well, the whole box was $25, so it doesn't come with adhesive. You know what I'm saying? Big spender there. And, he loves the Groupon. Anybody love the Groupon? Any Groupon groupies here? Yeah. So company policy in our house, we don't do anything entertainment-wise unless it's on Groupon. That's right. So for our anniversary, our 10-year, the double digits, he surprised me, and we went ziplining over Queens because it was $14.95. You haven't lived till you've gone over a CVS, let me tell you. We got museums, but nothing like that CVS, boy. Its parking lot was just a load of fun. And, oh my God, and he says things to me that sometimes I'm just like he came over to me and he had a hole in his sock and he goes, could you darn my socks? I'm like, darn your sock? Who am I, Betsy Ross? Like, have I darned anything in all the years we've been married, It's just so strange.
But I do like being broke, though. It's fun. Being rich is boring. When you're broke, every day's an adventure. I like it, right? When you're broke, every day you wake up, you're like, if anything happens, I'm done. It's like a video game. We gotta get to Thursday. Follow me. I've been there. Let's go. I checked the mail the other day. I got a bill that said final notice on it. I was like, thank God. Looks like I won't have to deal with this anymore, right? Wow. I was getting very worried. I win. It's tough to pay bills even if you have money. There are too many passwords. How are we supposed to remember this? I'm a person, not a cloud. I got the Verizon bill last week. I had to crack the Da Vinci Code to pay this. It took too long. That was gonna take 2 minutes. I called them, like, what's up, Verizon? It's me, Kabir Singh. Let's do this. They're like, what's your account number? I'm like, 4789432. Where do you live? 2000 Walnut Avenue. What's your date of birth? 12/30/84. Now what? Let's go. He's like, what's your bill pay password? I was like, you bastards. A bill pay what? I don't know what that is. This should have been the first question, am I right? I don't know what that is. Please let me just pay this. Please, please. He's like, I can't, I need your bill pay password, but I have good news for you. In case you forgot, you set up a password hint. So of course I did. I'm always one step ahead of the game, homie. How dare you? What's my hint? He's like, your hint is turtles. And I was like, oh no. I was like, I don't know any turtles. I've never seen a turtle, sir. Please let me just pay this so we can move on with our lives. Please! He's like, I can't, I need your bill pay password. I need to make sure it's you. I'm like, who is out there paying other people's bills? Nobody steals some dude's identity and goes up to your friends like, let's pay all the stuff off. That doesn't happen! It's the opposite. He's like, please let me just pay this. You know what my password turned out to be? It turned out to be rocket. Because turtles are slow and rockets are fast. Thank you, Jack Daniels and marijuana, for that combination.
My dad was cheap, too. He's one of these cheap parents, never brought brand name anything. Anybody have to grow up with one of those? They go to the everyday grocery stores, just one big disappointment. You know, I want 7-Up. He brings home 6 across, that brand. And my mom, she wanted laundry detergent. She wanted all. He bought a brand name Some. Christmas, too, was it? I wanted a George Foreman grill, right? I opened up the box. I got a Tanya Harding grill. Tanya Harding now, they're making a movie about her. They're making her a hero. You know what she did? What a role model athlete. If you figure about it, she's the original athlete to take a knee. Yeah. They buy this cheap stuff for you, the brand name stuff, and they say it's all the same. No, it's not. I want Captain Crunch. Don't bring home Colonel Munch. I used to stay over at a kid's house that I didn't even like just so I could eat a bowl of real Fruit Loops. I work cruise ships now. You know, I got on the cruise ships and all I could think, I see kids on the cruise ships like my dad would never bring us on a cruise. He was too cheap. If he took us on a cruise, he'd find a budget package where we'd all have to clean rooms and make towel animals. Has anybody been on the cruise ship and see the towel animals? They're just adorable. Giraffes and kitties and little elephants. If you ever go on a cruise with your wife, don't make the near fatal mistake that I did of using the towel animal as a towel. I made that mistake. I'm drying off in the bathroom. My wife kicks in the door like a SWAT team. Like, are you using that kitty cat as a towel? Like, no. Then I look on the floor. There are the whiskers.
I like the cheap store. Dollar store? You ever go to the dollar store? Oh, isn't that amazing? Everything's $1. You're like a millionaire in there, right? $20, right? I bought a whole aisle, right? Goya stuff that expired 6 years ago, right? You ever see what they sell at these stores? They got shirts with 3 sleeves on them. They got food with teeth marks on it already. Yeah. They got stuff from China that didn't translate well. You ever, instead of Crest toothpaste, they got Crust toothpaste. I was at a dollar store. They were selling home pregnancy tests for $1, right? Probably says you're pregnant before you open it. It's like a magic 8-ball. Better luck next time. Anyway, I am broke. You know, that's the thing. You got to adapt. Like, you could tell how broke you are or how rich you are by the way you pay for gas. You ever notice that, right? Some of you are rich, or maybe you're financially secure. You're the ones that fill it up every time. You know, those people, hey, fill it up. Whatever it is, just fill it up. I don't care. I got money, right? Then you got the middle ground. You're the ones that round off. You know, those people, put 20. I'll put 20, maybe 10, right? Then you get guys like me, broke people like me. Some of you are probably out there. You got to scrounge up money, you know, just to get to the E, you know? The top of the E. Like, people thought that was empty. I go below E, right? That doesn't mean empty. That means enough to get home. That's what that stands for. That's all I need right there.
And my dad is so cheap, he worries more about money than death. He left this message on my answering machine. Karen, your mother and I are going on vacation. Now, if we die on vacation, don't fly the bodies home. The airlines are going to try and stick it to you with the price. You cremate the bodies and you mail them home. There's a flat rate priority box your mother will fit into nicely. I prefer a bubble envelope. So if you don't hear from us for a while and you get something in the mail, open it carefully. It's either your dead parents or some fudge. It will be a surprise.
And we got to learn how to be financially astute, too. Am I right? Got to manage our finances. You know what I'm saying? You got to make smart decisions sometimes. Like, whew, these gas prices out of hand, ain't they? Come on, man. I ran out of gas the other day. I just called AAA. I'm like, this toll is cheaper than filling it up. I'm riding in the truck with you, player. It's funny to me. You can't even enjoy your car no more. You know what I'm saying? Remember back in the day, fellas, you get in an argument with your lady, like, I need to go and clear my head. I'll be back in a couple hours. Woo, you go take a ride. Clear your head, let the windows down and drive. That's when gas was less expensive. Gas up over $4, $5. Ain't no riding around. You go from the garage to the end of the driveway. I'm clear now, I'm clear. You got your kids out there running by the car like you driving past people. Keep running, y'all, keep running. Keep running, y'all, keep running. Keep running, y'all, keep running. These prices, man, you can't even enjoy your car. I'm from Michigan, Detroit. In the wintertime, it gets cold, snow comes out, we have to defrost our cars and scrape them off in the wintertime. And back in the day, remember when gas was, this I can tell you how you know gas is too high now, $4 or $5 a gallon. Because back in the day, all I used to put in my car was $4. Well, my old school people would know what I'm talking about, $4. Come on now, $4, you was straight for the week. Remember when people used to offer you gas money and you refused it? Remember those days of yesteryear? They'd be like, hey, like, what's your name, sir? Jeff. Jeff. Everybody say, hey, Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Be like, hey, Jeff, you need some gas money? Jeff be like, no, I'm straight. I put $4 in on Sunday. It's just Thursday now. I think we're driving down to Florida tomorrow. I might get something after that. Man, you would warm your car up back in the day and you scrape off the snow and all that, get it all the debris, let it warm up. Not for now, $4 a gallon, please. This past winter, I started my car up. I let the windows down and back up. If that don't get the snow off, don't ride next to me. I got limited visibility. I got a 2-inch peripheral. I learn a new word every week. That was my word for this week, peripheral. Man, my mama could call me Saturday night. Baby, my heart beating funny. I think I need to go to the hospital. Like, mama, the hospital on the way to church in the morning. I can't go that way twice. $4 a gallon. Why don't you take some aspirin and pray about it? You always tell me the Lord know my heart. He know my heart.
Yeah, my mom bought us all the cheap stuff. And it was before the era of those stores where everything cost $1. That became her favorite store at the end. You have those around here? Everything is that she'll go in there with $20 and just tear that place up. Just leave a path of destruction in her wake, and then feel compelled to show me everything she bought there, one miracle greater than the last. It's like, look at this. Do you believe I got this at the dollar store? And I'm like, yes, actually I do. It's an oven mitt. I wouldn't even know where else to look for one. Plus, I was with you when you bought it, so yes, I believe you got it at the dollar store. She'd always look to buy people stuff in the dollar store, too. Big heart. She'd be in there and go, oh, my God. You know who would love that? Your sister would love one of those. I'm like, you're right. She would, because I just talked to her this morning. She said she wants an emergency poncho. I'm not even kidding. She's like, if you talk to Mom, would you hint that I would like an emergency poncho? Because I don't have $1. Well, I'll see what I can do. I can't guarantee anything, but I might be able to swing this deal for you. So I had to tell her in a nice way, stop buying people gifts at the dollar store. I know you mean well, but knock it off. Here's what you do. Just give them $1. Tell them it's a dollar store certificate, right? That way, think of what they want. We don't know what other people like. That maybe they don't want the pot holder or the air freshener. Maybe they like the pizza cutter or the corn skewers or the ice cube tray or the 12-pack of sponges or the Army Men or the marbles or the Hasselhoff CD. We don't know what other people like. It's not for us to decide. There's some great stuff in there, too. Ever see something in a dollar store that actually costs less than $1? What went horribly wrong there? They couldn't move it for $1. Now they're really slashing prices. Here's what I saw, and I'm not even kidding. I saw cassette tapes in a dollar store for 88 cents. How many things wrong with that sentence? First off, we don't use cassettes anymore, hence the reduction in price. But I gotta be honest, I couldn't stop looking at them. I was fascinated. It was like memory lane. And then I thought, man, I hate to be one of those singers. Wouldn't that be horrible? How'd you like to be that guy? You're the guy whose tape cost 88 cents. Your tape costs less than a blank tape. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are paying more money for tapes with nothing on them at all. In fact, your voice is making the tape worth less. You're devaluing a cassette tape by singing because the blank tape cost $1, so the value of your voice is negative 12 cents. I don't buy a lot of things in that store, but I do buy one thing, and let me pass this along to you as advice. Never get your sunglasses anywhere but a dollar store, because we all know that formula. The more money you pay for sunglasses, the sooner they're going to be gone from your life. Whether you lose them, break them, whatever, the more you pay, the sooner they're gone. Once in my life, I broke my own rule. I spent a good amount of money on a pair of sunglasses. On the way home from making that purchase. On the way home, wanted to change lanes, did that thing where you pop your head out the window, they blew off my face at about 65 miles an hour. I can still see them in the rearview mirror, end over end. No! It's like in slow motion. No! The pair that I bought 9 years ago at the dollar store, not a scratch on them to date. They're mint. You can't get rid of them even when you want to get rid of them. One time I thought we lost them. It was this summer, we were on vacation, we were at one of those water parks, and I got off one of the slides and I reached up on my head and I didn't feel them, and we all had a big laugh. Said, oh, I guess I lost my dollar glasses. What are we going to do now? We got home from the trip. Glasses, they were on my front step. I'm not even kidding. With a note, this isn't over. That really actually happened. Psycho glasses.
No, man, it's been a lot of fun growing up in North Carolina. I grew up broke, though. I didn't have a lot of money. Like, we just had, like, one food group. I feel like we just made sandwiches all the time. That's how we survived. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody broke in here? Some of y'all lying. That's okay. That's okay. Sir. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. Yeah, no, man, I feel like we just had one food group. Growing up, we just had bread. That was it, because we just made sandwiches all the time. That was it. We had like ham sandwiches, bologna sandwiches, raisin bran sandwiches. We had sandwiches. You know what a sandwich is? That's where you got one piece of bread and then two more pieces of bread on top of that. It's a sandwich. And occasionally we had trail mix. I hated trail mix. Oh my God. I know white people look confused. Black people got very different trail mixes. And you guys didn't know that. Like, white people trail mix got, like, you know, fresh picked berries in it. roasted nuts, happiness in it. You know what I'm saying? Black people trail mix got like gummy bears in it. They got last year Halloween candy in the trail mix. The dry pieces of Lucky Charms in it. Not the marshmallows, but the dry pieces. It's terrible. But I decided, like, if I ever make it, like, if I ever become famous, I'm gonna make a movie about my life, and I'm gonna call it Broke Black Mountain. Because I'm broke, I'm black, and I got a mountain of bills at the crib, and nobody trying to pay, so it's cool, man. Dating's hard, too, when you're broke. Yeah, like, I just got out of a pretty bad relationship because it was hard because I was broke and she had a lot of money. You know, she's very well off. I miss her. Miss her a lot. No, I had to be smooth, though. Even though I was broke, I had to be smooth. I had to be clever. I'd figure it out. Like one day for our first Christmas, right? I was like, hey, baby, you know what I'm saying? Every year for Christmas, I like to do bigger and better things. I like to outdo myself, you know what I'm saying? If I get you a car one year, I'm gonna get you a bus the next year because I like going to that next level, you know what I'm saying? So, baby, for this first year, I'm not gonna get you anything because I gotta build, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta build. And Christmas came around, she's like, baby, where's my present? And I was like, baby, I'm sorry, I'm broke. I couldn't get you anything. And she was like, well, you could have got something that wasn't too expensive. And I was like, what does broke mean to you? Like, there's nothing in my bank account. There's nothing in there. And she was like, well, then who bought this Xbox? And I was like, baby, that's Jesus' Xbox. It's his birthday coming up. And you worried about me. That's our Lord and Savior.
During the last couple of years, I had 3 near-death experiences. So getting back out with live audiences and being able to make people laugh is a big joy of mine. First near-death experience was because I'm cheap. I had to get to Las Vegas, evening show. I could have caught an afternoon flight, but I caught the 6 a.m. flight because it was $200 cheaper. I barely got any sleep. I make it to the airport. I'm on the flight. I'm half asleep when we're taking off. But I'm one of those guys that I don't care how cheap the flight was. If I don't get my free drink and my free snack, I feel like I got ripped off. Anybody else like that? We're in the air halfway between Oakland, California, and Las Vegas. And I hear the snack cart going by as I'm half asleep. And I'm like, hey, peanuts. Look at this Coke and some peanuts. I got my little snack, and I was so tired, I didn't eat a couple of peanuts at a time. I poured the bag into my mouth, and one went right down my windpipe. Halfway between Las Vegas and Oakland, I'm choking. And the flight attendant, a very nice, flamboyant man, came running down the aisle. I was like, oh my goodness, he's choking on peanuts. I gave myself the Heimlich right there. Spit that peanut out, and I was like, sir, it's peanuts. 1 S, not a lot of S's, sir.
A lot of people confuse being trash with being poor. I'm here to tell you they're not the same. All right, being poor means you don't have a lot of money. Being trash means you go into debt for fireworks. There's a difference. One of us had more fun, you know? People say, oh, that's just a joke, Seth. My dad used to go to the store to get groceries for the family, come back with $0 worth of groceries, $400 worth of fireworks. That's the modern equivalent of trading your last cow for magic beans. It's not fiscal responsibility, Dad. I was a little bit worried. My dad came to a show once, and I was worried he was going to be sad or offended at those jokes. Comes up to me after the show, kind of somber. He's just like, those fireworks are pretty fun, though, right? And you know, he was right, because fireworks are gorgeous when you're hungry. That is a fact. Ooh, We ate weird stuff being trash. Things I didn't know were weird until I met other people, you know? Like meat cheese. We ate a lot of meat cheese. You guys, I get a lot of stares with this one. You know what I'm talking about? Meat cheese? You're gonna pretend you're better than me? Dry bar, is that what it's just meat that's had cheese injected into it. People don't have time to cook both, so you just do the meat cheese, you know? I still love it, man. I love those little hot dogs on the rollers all day. Yes! Yes! They remind me of myself. Neglected, greasy, full of cheese and sadness. I love those hot dogs. I always go grab them, you know. The other day I grabbed one and something made me laugh. They had added a safety feature to the hot dogs. They put a meat thermometer inside one of them with a little tiny sign installed pointing at it that said, "To guarantee freshness." That does not guarantee freshness. I don't need a meat thermometer. I need a meat odometer. I want to know how far this weenie has rolled. Anything over a mile, no dice, okay? Can't have my junk food able to go farther than I can. That'd be embarrassing.
There's some things I miss about college. I miss being broke. That sounds weird, right? But when you're broke in college, it just means you have $0. When you're broke in the real world, you have $0. Probably some credit card debt. Maybe a car loan. Maybe a mortgage. When you're broke in the real world, you have less than $0. Thousands and thousands less. I wish I had $0. If I had $0 right now, I'd be living the good life. I'd be like, pop the champagne, baby. We just made the last payment on the car, and we are officially back to $0.
But after we beat them, Brett comes up and he's like, "Hey man, we're about to be freshmen in high school, buddy. We got to do something big." And I was like, "Keep talking, quarterback. What do you want to do?" He's like, "We're going to play high school football." And I said, "No, Brett. You're going to play high school football." And he goes, "Why would you say that?" I said, "Because you're white. And your parents will buy you everything you need to be successful in this endeavor. My parents are Indian immigrants. They're not going to buy me all the stuff. I'll get some things. They're not heartless people. And I'll get some things. Like, I'll get cleats for sure. Right? I'll get shoes. My mommy would buy me those. Oh, you can laugh, but mommy would buy me the shoes. But then it would be jeans. Right? And then my mom would try to sew a uniform that looked similar to what my teammates are wearing. But she's South Asian, so it'd be a silk or a chiffon. Something that flowed in the summer months. No mouth guard, and my dad's hard hat. Like, that's what I'm gonna get. And he goes, "No, stupid, it's state funded." I said, "Explain." He goes, "All you gotta do is fill out the form, get one parent to sign it, and the school gives you everything you need." Mind blown, right? Because now here's an activity that my parents don't have to be embarrassed that they can't afford, right? But they can also be part of the community and cheer with the other parents, right? So I filled out the form, ran home. I'm standing outside of my parents' house, and I remember thinking to myself, 50-50 shot. Who's behind that door? Because if it's my mommy, we're playing some football. If it's my dad, we're gonna get yelled at. And I opened the door, and there's my dad. And I was like, oh no. And he was cheap. Like, he wanted to know what everything costs. Automatically, didn't matter what it was, cheap. And I walked up to him, and I said, "Sir, I need you to sign this. I want to play high school football." He doesn't miss a beat. How much is your nonsense? How much is this going to cost me? And I said, "Pop, from the helmet to the shoes, free." And one tear ran down his cheek. And he looked at me and goes, "You play your heart out."
Of course, weirdly enough, I'm finding there are certain benefits to being broke. You know, like that whole economic downturn thing we went through didn't really affect me at all. I'm like, what's all the hullabaloo? I think I lost like $9. I'm like, that's nothing.
But then you see these people being interviewed on the news going, I lost $800,000. I'm like, well, that's what you get for having so much money. These are hot dogs and these are ramen noodles. Enjoy your stew, sir. Enjoy your stew. Just rich people don't know anything about ramen. I'm like, ramen noodles? What are they? They're 10 for $1. That's all you really know, sir. They're 10 for $1. And you get a whole week's worth of sodium in every serving. That's some hard-boiled nutrition for a dime, sir.
Right? Did you grow up poor? Anybody grow up poor? Chickens in the yard? We had chickens. We weren't even that poor. We were poorer than that. We had chicken. We had one chicken. You're either having eggs or chicken, but you're not having both when you have one chicken. That's a logistical issue. And everything we had was used. If you're poor, you go to Goodwill and garage sales. And I never even knew board games had instructions. Did you know that? They had instructions before we got them and had to look at the pieces that were left over and figure it out. Family rules. That's what they called it. Family rules. And every family had different rules. Don't bring your rules to the sleepover. They don't apply. Hey, man, you want to play Monopoly? Yeah, let's play Monopoly. All right, cool. Take your pants off. Everybody pants off for playing Monopoly. Family rules, man. Get the axe in the boiling water. Let's do it. You ever read the instructions to a board game? It's not even close to how you've been playing it your whole life. I was like, this isn't a drinking game at all, Mom, you liar.
So he moved to South America. That's where my parents met. And a lot of immigrant families, they try to hold on to their heritage as long as they can. And that makes sense, you know? But I could tell the exact moment my family let go of ours. Like, my older brother's name's Gerardo. My older sister's name's Gabriela. My name is Mike. All right. We're American now. Oh, man. You're not a true American unless you have a Mike in your family, you know what I mean? I show up at the border, they're like, what's your name? I'm like, Mike. They go, oh, right this way, sir. Welcome to your country. We've been waiting for you. I don't know. It is kind of funny. My parents tried their best. They did what they could, you know. We grew up broke. A lot of people grow up broke. I didn't know I was broke, though, because everything just sounds better in Spanish, you know? Yeah, I'd be like, hey, Mom, what's for dinner? She's like, oh, Mikey, tonight we're going to have arroz con puré de papas y carne molida. Like, oh, my God, all that tonight? We're rich. She pulls out a plate with rice, mashed potatoes, and ground beef. I'm like, this is the inside of a burrito. We are broke. We can't even afford to wrap this. We're so broke. Didn't feel good. All my friends thought I was rich because they would call my house and my mom would answer and she was like, hello? Like, oh my God, Mike's got a maid. In that little house, he has a maid. They were kind of right, but still. But still. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like I didn't know, like I was broke growing up. It hit me in different ways as I got older. Like, I didn't know cereal came in boxes till I was 20. You know what I mean? Yeah, we just had giant bags of cereal. My mom would make me get them from the car. I felt like they were bags of cement, just like dragging them into the house. Like, wow. She'd put them under the sink side by side next to the dog food, you know? She'd use the same scooper for both. She didn't care. Get out of the kitchen. And I'm sitting at the table like, my cereal tastes like lamb, dude. This is disgusting. I look over at my dog. He's just shaking from the sugary kibble in the corner. He's like, I gotta get out of this house. These people are crazy.
But, you know, here's the deal. So when my parents, you know, they left us the house, and I thought that was amazing because my dad was very cheap, right? I don't know, did anyone grow up poor? Yeah. Okay. I thought we grew up poor, but it turns out we grew up cheap. You know, and having cheap parents, it's really hard because my dad was always trying to save on electricity. So, like, he would just be sitting in a room and he was like, On your way out the door, cut the lights. And I was like, but Dad, you're reading. It's like, it's okay, I got the gist of it. Yeah. And here's the thing, guys. I used to wear designer clothes, but they were always like, 5 years out of date. Right? Anybody else? Like, it was like a spree, but it was spelled like the spree candy, I didn't know. Like, my Guess jeans already had answers written on them. I was an only child and I still had to wear hand-me-downs. Like, that couldn't have been right? It was just crazy. And my mom, she would like shop. And I just remember I got teased on the playground for what I used to wear. I had a little girl. She was like, I know that you did not get that sweater at the mall. And I was like, what? She said, that sweater is mine. I said, my mom got that for me at the mall. And she was like, no way, it's mine. My name's on it. Oh, I'm sorry. And it was just so crazy because dining out was a nightmare. Guys, dining out was a total nightmare. If we went somewhere where it was like 12 and under, my mom would kick me under the table. Say you're 12. But Mom, I can't do that. I'm older than the waitress. I'm 35. And she was like, say it. I was like, okay, I'll take the Mickey Mouse pancakes and a vodka tonic. Yes, I'll keep the crayons. Okay.
I don't think my mom let me celebrate Halloween because she didn't want to spend the money on a costume. Every time I asked for something, she was like, you think money grows on trees, huh? We're poor. We can't afford costumes and candy. And I'm like, we? We're poor? I'm 6. How did my decisions end up here, huh? You don't console with me with the bills, okay? I'm not even old enough to work. How are we broke? I don't understand. I don't even know my social security number, right? You're poor, Mom. My teacher told me I have potential. She says I could be anything I want to be. You're poor, Mom. You messed up. I don't know what happened. But don't shame me, okay? That's on you, Mama. Yeah, my mom, very, very stingy when I was a kid. I couldn't wait to start working, man. I was so happy to get a job when I was 14. I started working at McDonald's. Then I knew what poor was. I was like, oh, this is what she was talking about. I can't. It was hard, man. I used to work at McDonald's. It's a terrible job, but people used to complain all the time at McDonald's. Can we agree as a room? Any complaint that you have at McDonald's can be answered with, it's McDonald's. Right? You know what you signed up for, right? Diarrhea. Why are you writing letters? What's going on? People get upset at me. They get really upset. They're like, sir, excuse me? I'm like, you don't have to call me sir, okay? I'm a child. Like, sir, excuse me, but if somebody's taking a shower in the urinal, okay? I just thought you should know that. I'm like, yeah, it's McDonald's. This ain't Chick-fil-A, right? Yeah, it's not my pleasure to be here. I'm a hostage, okay? I feel like that should be their slogan, right? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, this ain't Chick-fil-A. You want ice cream? Psych, our machine's broken. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
No, I'm a little nervous about being married. Because now, if I'm broke, it matters. Right? Like, if you're broke as a single guy, it's almost charming, you know? But now if I bring home a bag of combos for dinner, she made a bad decision. That's what happened. And I've been broke, you guys. I've been there. Recently, I was so broke, a stranger offered me a free burrito at a train station, and I said yes! I didn't even ask what was in it. I'm allergic to some things. Like, granted, most burritos don't contain the antibiotic clindamycin, but I should have asked, so. I should have asked. Could have been anything in there. I don't know. Could have been horse meat. I don't know. But at a certain level of broke, you don't look a gift horse burrito in the mouth. That's the reality. I was so broke recently. You know you're broke when you make a purchase in dimes. You know? Have you ever tried to pay with dimes in 2019? Like, even if you pay with quarters, they're used to it. They're cool with it. You bust out a bag of dimes, and they're like, no, we don't have any licorice rope. Nor is it 1946. Get out of my 7-Eleven, please. Yeah, dime will remind you you're broke. Right? You look at it like, what president's on this one again? Oh, right, the one during the Great Depression. That's appropriate. That makes sense. That's who's on that. Franklin Delano Roosevelt is on the dime. A dime isn't even money. It's just like a reminder that polio used to exist. I love the people groaning like, hey, I liked polio. You shouldn't make fun of it.
I grew up poor. I had to wear hand-me-downs. It was awful. I have an older sister. First day of school was terrible. The little witch next to me had on the same outfit. Now I'm not sure if I'm really supposed to go to the bathroom at Target. Oh, that was too far? When I was a kid, my mama bought me one pair of jeans. One pair. She bought them real long. Then she hemmed them up. When I'd grow a little, she'd let them out a little. I'd grow a little more, she'd let them out a little more. You could tell how old I was by counting the rings down my leg.
My parents were cheap, you know, they were cheap. They would use Christmas as an excuse to buy me things I needed anyway. I'm like, Mom, my shoe got a hole in the bottom. She's like, don't worry, baby, Christmas is just around the corner. I'm like, Mom, it's July. Got no treads on my kids. My dad, this is embarrassing to admit, but when I was young, my dad used me to avoid the draft. Yeah, on winter nights, he'd make me lie down by the front door. Block that cold air. You ought not use your kids as weather stripping. That ought to be in the manual somewhere. My dad was a truck driver. He would drop off his load and fill up his truck on the way home with stuff he found on the side of the road. If my dad was behind you on the highway and something fell off your truck, it was his now. That's the law of the country. We would spend our weekends just following around people that were moving, waiting for them to go around a sharp curve. He's like, hold on, son, we go get a new mattress. I'm like, well, I can't help you flip it. We didn't have money. What we had was make do. If you didn't have something in the country, you just make do with what you did have. Yeah, New Year's Eve, we didn't have fireworks. We just had a drunk uncle with a butane torch and a roll of toilet paper. That's how we rolled. Country people love fireworks and beer. That's a deadly combination. Every July 4th, country people are blowing themselves up left and right. Let's hope the terrorists don't get wind of this. They'll stop with a suicide bomb, just open up a roadside fireworks down the way to the lake, sell old Milwaukee's and M80s, and we will blow ourselves up for you. That's not jihad, that's jihad right there. Now, if you don't laugh at these jokes, the terrorists win.
I grew up poor.
I come from a poor family. I often think about winning the lottery and what I would do with the money. You know, like when I was in my 20s, I probably would have did just irresponsible things, you know? Spend it on fancy ladies, fancy cars, fancy houses. But at my age, if I won the lottery today, you know what I would do? I would just go to the doctor and actually pay for it. Pick that bill up on the way out the door, and the best part is that I can schedule a follow-up appointment without changing healthcare providers. Seems like a pretty good thing to me. Like I said, I did come from a poor family. I had a single father. He was trying to raise 2 boys on his own. So like as a kid, I didn't quite understand what was happening, but now that I'm an adult, I kind of understand it a little better and kind of get what he was going through. But as a kid, when holidays and birthdays would come around, I didn't get any cool toys. You know, all my friends were getting the latest toys, G.I. Joes, Transformers, things like that. We were getting whitey-tighties and holiday-themed sweaters. Yeah. And my dad thought he was a comedian. One year for my birthday, he gave me a box of rocks. I was like, Dad, what am I supposed to do with a box of rocks? He said, son, use your imagination. So I did. I imagined I was a superhero and I used the rocks to rescue the toys from the toy store. Then when I got home with all the toys, my dad said, son, where did you get all these toys? And I looked him right in the eye and I said, Dad, use your imagination. Then he roundhouse kicked me in the face. Fair enough.